Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MCC. I'm your host, Isaac Mack. Joining me today, all the way from New Delhi, is Mr. Charlie Chirian, also known as Charlie Frost. Charlie is well known for being one of the first generation of hip hop dancers in India. He's appeared on many popular TV shows as well as dance series and has won many titles and awards. Charlie teaches dance in Delhi and various parts of India now. What some people might not know is he's got an amazing story of transformation. He's now a devout Catholic. So we've got some really good things to talk about. So Charlie, welcome.
Thank you for having me over here.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. So how's 2021 treating you guys down in or up in New Delhi?
I mean, it's just getting started, right? So let's see what the year has for us.
Awesome.
But I mean, our hope is on God. So
Awesome. And have you ever been out to Australia?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
Never.
Put that on your list.
Yeah, I will. Now I do.
Okay, good. So I've had a look at your Facebook and got some really inspiring videos there. I saw one recently where I think you were teaching these young kids, and on the title it said in my hometown. So you look
Oh yes.
quite happy to do that. So can you tell us a bit about that video?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Delhi, which is the capital of India, of course. But then my hometown is in down south in Kerala. I don't know if you have
Okay.
heard about
Yes.
Kerala.
Yes.
Yeah, you have? Oh, yeah, awesome.
I have
So
a
that's
friend
my hometown.
who's from there.
Oh, we got people from Kerala everywhere, by the way.
There's a few Indians in Australia.
I'm sure. I know a lot of my friends who are in Australia already. So yeah, so yeah, my parents are from there, and I mean, I'm also my hometown is from there. I'm from there, and basically they came to Delhi to make a living over here,
Yeah.
and then yeah, that's why I'm over here right now.
Very good. So could you tell us like how you what got you into dance in the first place? Like what inspired you to start, and actually start a hip hop group as well that you've put together?
What got me started was, I mean, I had a lot of energy. As much as I can remember, I still do. I hardly can sit at one place without moving my hands and legs. Uh,
So
yeah,
this
so
will be a challenge for you.
yeah, it is. It is already. Um so yeah, hey, Dominic did tell me it's gonna be a purgatory for you. So hoping for the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, so initially what happened was, I mean, we were just fascinated by the way these people were moving, right? So me and two other friends of mine, and by the way, I was already into art and music and things like that. I was a drummer.
Okay.
I was into art as well. I like to sketch and paint and things like that. So yeah, I was already into that. Studies, I don't know. I was just a average student. Just studied for exams and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so my friends and we saw a movie, and then we were like, oh, it's so cool. These people are, some spinning on the heads and doing cartwheels and flips and things like that. So I was very fan. We were all three of us were very fascinated about it. So we started off with from there. We started off dancing in the parks or here and there wherever we could, and gradually we just, I mean, I started just keep on doing it, and yeah, I mean, eventually I got to understand that okay, I don't think so I can do anything else other than I don't know how to sit at one place without moving. So I guess I was just getting into it. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
there a particular artist or dancers that inspired you
I mean, there are many. I
early
mean,
on?
early on, yeah, it was. I would say definitely Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, he was. I mean, when I used to see him dance and things like that, dude. I mean, the way he performs, sings, and dance, I used to be amazed by that. And that was it, right? I always was. What do you say? Wowed or amazed by something which is like wow. I mean, I had that in me always. And wow, I like to say wow a lot. So yeah, that was a thing, and then later on, this guy called Kundu, he's one of my teacher, and I saw him dancing and was like, wow, this guy moves very well. And he's from New York, and he came to India many couple of years back, and he started teaching the first generation of hip hop and house dancers in India. And then somehow, I don't know, I got to meet him, and yeah, we just clicked. And uh, so eventually I got into his crew, and I trained more. And yeah, so it all went on like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, you mentioned Dominic, a good friend of mine as well. And, we've had him on the show. He's the one who told me about your story, about, you reverting back to Catholicism. And, I'd love it if you could tell us a little bit about that, like in terms of how it all went and, maybe some of your darker moments and what sort of brought you back to church and
Mm.
God.
So, I mean, when I was a child, my mom she's still very devout Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to have rosaries every night. At least forced. We were forced to do the rosary. Me and my sister. I have a younger sister as well.
Me too.
So, oh, you too. Okay. So yeah. So she always forced us to do rosaries and pray and things like that. And I was okay. I guess I was a good Catholic. I remember me praying my rosary even if I'm just alone. I was just a small young guy, probably I don't know, 10 years old, 9 years old.
Yeah.
It went on till probably till when I was till 13 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember me doing the rosaries even if alone and things like that. And that mostly would be prayers just I could let me just pass this exam or things like that, or whatnot. Yeah, so that would be my just that would be the reason that I would do the rosaries and things like that. But then eventually what happened was, as time went by, and as I went into college, and I still I don't know, it was just over there because maybe since childhood I was said you should be praying to God and things like that. Maybe because of that I was just praying for just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of it, because it's already in you, so it doesn't go out very soon, right? But although if I may say, I was getting into a very dark path from there, in the sense that when you get into this line, where entertainment and dancing and music and things like that, it's very hard. It's very hard. Not I mean, it would require another kind of grace itself if you did not fall into that kind of sin. Maybe it was bad for me though. I don't know about others. I'm not sure about others. So sorry. So yeah, so from there I got into it went really down the drain, I must say.
Yeah.
Especially regarding the the sins of the body. So yeah, so I mean, so it went really down the hill, and got addicted to pornography and things like that since since a very young age. And yeah, so from there, even some of my friends couldn't believe that I was going uh, you know way out of hand. Yeah. So, and then I mean, there was one point of time when I was making good money, and I had people around me. I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of people. Everything was there. I used to be out all night in the clubs. Uh, you know, I mean, meeting people and all of that. So all of that was going on. But certainly there came a point of time where it was just you're just numb. You can't feel anything anymore. It's just coming, and the point was that I knew that I wanted happiness. I wanted joy. I wanted even pleasure, if I may say. But nothing of this, nothing was making sense to me, and there were a lot of things which were happening. I was in a relationship, and kind of broke the girl's heart, and not kind of, pretty much broke the girl's heart, and so it was kind of getting to a point where I couldn't just feel anything. It was just I mean, I don't know. It was already, I was like, okay, I'm ready to die now. You know, it's nothing makes sense. I don't think so. I can go on doing this for yet another day. And I don't know how much long do I have to live with this. So somehow, I left that place where I was living away from my family and things like that. And then I left that place, and somehow gradually it didn't happen quickly, but it still took me quite a long time. And by the way, I was not coming to the faith yet. I was just coming out of that, uh,
Just,
I don't know, that kind of a lifestyle.
yeah.
I was just coming out of that lifestyle, because I knew something was wrong, but I could not completely get out of it though. I did not completely get out of it. I was still hooked on to pornography and things like that. But and then maybe, I don't know, I guess I made a prayer, and within, I was just asking, oh God, why is this happening to me? And then I said, oh God, oh God, why am I saying oh God? I mean, I hardly pray now. Even if I went to church, that was with my family. If I'm in at house, if I'm at my place, then I would go to church every Sunday and just stand outside and be on my phone all the time. Check out Instagram, check out this, check out that. Always it was just feed my brain, feed my brain, feed my brain. It was always like that, right? So, but then I just made a prayer within me, inside me, and that was the time when I went for the TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was at that time, and I don't know. I guess I just made a prayer. God, if you're there, just let me know, because I'm kind of, I don't know, somewhere stuck here and stuck there. I mean, I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
I mean, rest all the things are happening, right? I'm working pretty well. I mean, I'm traveling. I'm getting good money. I mean, I'm getting paid well for what I do. I'm doing something that I really love to do.
Yeah.
All of that is happening, but then it was just very, what do I say? I was completely like that, yeah. So then I just made this prayer. Probably, I don't know what happened. Uh, this, I was just going through some videos and things like that. I jumped onto this video by Church Militant, by Michael Warris. This guy called
Yes.
Michael Warris. I
Yes.
saw this guy. I did not agree to anything what I said. He said I did not agree to anything. But what I really admire was the way he said it. I mean, the way he said it, he was just, this
He's
is the
got
truth, and that's
he's
it.
got great conviction.
Yeah,
Very,
exactly.
very strong.
Absolutely. I mean, and also at the same time, he was not the my favorite point was that he was not afraid to say what he wanted to say. He
Yes.
was just not afraid, and
Correct.
that's something I was like, wow, that is amazing, huh? I mean, that was something. Actually, I thought that was something bold, because I don't know, maybe we watered down the meaning of bold so much that, oh, if you don't pander to the society or the political correctness,
Yeah.
you're not bold. I mean, if today, if I do something according to what people are, and they're doing, then I am bold. uh, but when I say according to the people, I mean to say that according to the trend. I mean to say, the trend which is out everywhere. So, but then this guy is going against that flow, and I was very impressed. And then I just wanted to see and hear more from him, right? And then I heard many things, and then I was just like, I was not convinced in the beginning. I mean, I disagreed for what, or on probably everything, whatever he said. But I was kind of wowed again. I would say, right? Wow.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, then I heard certain things that he was teaching, probably in some conferences or things like that, and I heard that, and I was like, I never heard about any of these things ever in my life. I've been a cradle Catholic since my childhood, and why didn't I ever hear anything about this?
Yeah.
And then gradually things made sense to me, and then I was like, wow, there is, again, wow, right? Wow, this is amazing. I never knew about any of these things, and I was very intrigued. And I remember telling myself, and sitting over there and thinking like, where did I go wrong exactly? Did I go wrong over here? And then from there, what happened was, then I just started. Then I quickly understood whatever I was doing was absolutely nonsense, and
Yeah.
I need to change things. And by God's grace, and I'm not boasting. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not here to boast about myself, but then simply by God's grace, I just stopped whatever I was doing earlier. It just stopped right there, and then the change was very quick. It
Uh,
was very quick. I mean, when I think about it, yes, took a lot of years to change
mm,
completely, but then once that wall is in front of you, you're not able to unsee it. It's right there in front of you.
yes.
So and then from there I just started learning the faith. I mean, I was just studying the faith. I mean, reading church fathers and many things, and then these things just came on, and then it just, yeah, from there it's just my life kind of changed. And then my sister also was pretty much wavered away from the faith, and then I tried to explain her. Of course, the first answer was get out of my room. But eventually I mean she also had that transformation, and now I mean it's pretty good.
Good,
By
right.
God's grace, yeah.
That's brilliant. I appreciate you sharing with that because I think a lot of people will be able to relate to a lot of what you've said, especially people like myself. And I've had people on the show as well who, grew up in a Catholic home and had the
Uh-huh.
Bible, in their face every day. And, you've got to pray, you've got to pray. And,
Yeah,
and I know, a lot of parents have great intentions. They're trying to do right by
yeah,
their kids. But it's so different when you go out into the world and then you actually come back to the faith yourself and understand what it actually means in-depth level. That's when
mm,
you really have that connection with God, which is, and I think that's what's happened to you. I do want to say something too about the industry that you were in or were in, to a
yeah.
degree. I experienced a lot of that myself years and years
Wow.
ago. I actually went into, I had I was a big fan of hip hop and R&B,
Uh-huh.
and not not
Wow.
as not as a dancer or performer,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
but I was
yeah, yeah.
actually involved in a lot of the behind the scenes things like putting the events together,
Uh-huh.
booking particular artists for different shows. And I remember one of my first experiences was actually there were hip hop artists from America coming to Australia for a tour. And
Mm-hmm.
if I told you their names, you'd know all of them. They're all rappers and singers. And
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of these guys, and I toured with them and I organized the people that would actually open the show for them. That was my job.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
but
Okay.
what I saw of them, and
Mm.
these were men that I knew were married with, with children, and I was
Uh,
pretty green. I was pretty new to the industry. And then what I saw
uh,
them taking 5, 6 girls back to their hotel rooms, doing drugs in the hotel room and all that, and I just went, wow,
yeah.
this is not the scene that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can relate. And one thing I also want to say is you can probably understand more than a lot of people why celebrities get to a point where they do want to either kill themselves or even commit suicide
That's
because
true.
they lose their soul, don't they? They feel like there's nothing, like you said there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure. I guess. I mean, we just see this every year, right? Okay, this year these are the celebrities who kill themselves.
yeah,
I mean, these are the people who just kill them, and it's very sad.
yeah,
Mm, all that we can do is, of course, we can just pray for them and even for their souls. But yeah, I mean, it's pure grace if somebody gets to know Christ again, out of that filth. Um, you know,
yeah.
yeah. So it's a struggle.
No, that's a awesome story. So, what's your view right now on this? It's a topic I love to talk about, but the sanctity of life.
Yeah. So I really thought that at least in initial years of my, I mean, I never thought about it that well. But
Hmm.
then when I sat down and thought about it, I really think that this is what I thought. I thought everybody's going to heaven. I just thought everybody's just going to heaven. Uh, but then then we see that, oh, and then I thought, okay, but then there are these people who are really amazing, and they are called saints even in heaven, and we'll also be in heaven, and they'll also be in heaven, but then they are called saints. They might be like a CEO or some kind of a higher ranked people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But but then we read in Revelation 21:7 that nothing impure enters heaven. I was like, nothing? Yeah, nothing. Oh, I mean, that means, I mean, what do we do now? So then the only way to do is you have to be a saint. You have to be a saint. Not to canonize yourself over here on earth, not, of course not, but, to strive through that narrow gate. So
Yeah.
uh, it is very hard, I must say, but, then when we compare it to eternity, and a few years of struggle over here, let's just say that 100 years over here, but and an eternity, 100 years is nothing compared
Yeah.
to eternity. It's
That's
absolutely nothing. So the deal is actually absolutely jackpot. So we need to take that, and sanctity of life. Yeah. So as many of the saints and doctors and many of the popes have also said this thing, we're here to be saints. We are made to be saints, and
Yeah.
so and there's this uh, atheist philosopher and writer author called Friedrich Nietzsche. He always thought that I have to be a saint, but then because even atheist, he struggled with the fact that how can I be how can I be a saint if there is no God?
Yeah.
Sorry, did I phrase it right?
Yeah.
He wanted to be a saint. He knew that he wanted to be a saint, but then how can he be a god? He be a saint without God? So basically, he can't be saints without the source of sanctity itself. So we have to follow him. There's no other way.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Hey, I'm interested to know. I didn't actually ask Dominic this. Where do you think India is right now with uh, Catholicism? Like, would you say it's growing, or is it suffering, or what?
Honestly, I have not much a clue about it because my circle, my
Is
friend circle, or do I mean, I sometimes have to think that do I even have a friend circle anymore? I have to sit
no,
and
I
think about
mean,
that. But then, yeah. So, but I actually don't know much, but I know for a fact that because when I when I was when I started learning and studying all of these things, I got to understand one thing, that something was missing.
hmm,
We did not get something that we really badly need to get. I'm not blaming anyone over here, but something went wrong.
hmm,
You know, uh, poor catechesis. I mean, that is for sure. It was pretty poor, and I have to be very honest about it. It was poor. I mean, we were just asked to learn some prayers and things like that, and
yeah,
nobody gave us the reason why is there a God, or is there a God? Can somebody just give me some make me understand? Nobody cared. No, I don't think so. Nobody questioned that much.
yeah,
But then there comes a point of time when you are when you grow up, and after that teenage phase or during that teenage phase, uh, you just think I don't think so. There is anything called God, because look at the godless society. I mean, they're just doing whatever they feel like
yeah,
doing. So I
yeah,
mean, you are actually bound to go to hell. I mean,
yeah,
you're actually going towards hell until unless somebody shows you the light. You cannot escape that. It's that. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we are
yeah,
here we're fallen. We're in a fallen nature.
yeah,
So yeah, we need somebody to pick us up and lift us up. Yeah.
absolutely. So do you think there's a bigger need for catechism in like like a grassroots level?
Uh, I don't know much. Honestly, I don't know much how things are working on going on in India, because I told you I don't know much about
Yeah, yeah,
how the process goes. But the moment I'm talking to other Catholics, and because many times I've got into many debates about, let's say it might be about abortion, or
mm,
same-sex relationship or
marriage.
marriage or anything like that. I would say that there might be five people, and out of five people, two might be Catholics
Mm,
who are arguing against me. And I would say I cannot, if I quote some Bible verse, they don't want to agree to it,
yeah,
and that's why I think that definitely something went wrong somewhere. I mean,
yeah,
in their formation was not there.
mm,
And I was talking to my spiritual director. He said the same thing. The formation, it is lacking, and we need to do something about it.
yeah,
um, as much as I can say, I really think that we should go back to doing the get back to the basics, read the catechism, read the Bible every day, pray every day,
Yeah.
seek, and then you shall receive, right? I mean, you shall get it. And so that is what I think. Start with that. Let's go back to how the people before us did it. So, so maybe we'll get somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just the basics really, and just more conversations with God. I know I've seen a lot of your social media posts, and some of them make me laugh, and others I 100% agree with. I would assume you've got some fans on the left, who are leftist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think so. I have fans like that. I mean, probably many people who disagree with me. Yes.
No.
I used to have a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends. A lot.
Imagine.
All right. It was like as if wherever I look at, I have friends over there. Wherever I look at, I have friends over there. It was like that.
Yeah.
But then now I don't see anybody around me. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, what happened was, see, unless you are okay with whatever happens, if you go along with that trend, they're all good friends with you.
Yeah.
The moment you start thinking, or you start thinking through an objective lens, or through the truth itself, then you're pretty much not wanted actually around. They don't want you around them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think so. I have fans like that. Maybe some people who disagree with me, but then yet they admire my work. So yeah, a few people, but then most of my good friends, they're all gone. They're all. I don't see them. Only a few. A handful. Probably. I could count them in my fingers. That's all. Yeah.
One of we'll talk about maybe a little bit of not politics so much, but I'm a big fan of a lot of people like Candace Owens in America.
Oh yes.
And it's amazing to watch a woman talk about the fall of men's masculinity, because as more and more the far left are trying to create a godless society, and recently in America, Nancy Pelosi said that you can't, and I brought this up on last week's episode, you can't say father, mother, brother, sister anymore. You got to say, all that kind of rubbish. So
yeah, and then she contradicted herself right after she said that. She contradicted herself.
I know. That was hilarious. It took like one day, and then she's up there saying, I'm a grandmother, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter. Like, how stupid are you? And the cracks me up is the people that follow her, which is probably half in America, half of the world. I don't know.
I mean, they just blinded. They just do. Oh, it's okay. Just a thought. We literally saw the whole summer and all the whole last year, rioting and looting and burning and killing and everything. And then definitely we condemn whatever happened recently in that capital, hill. But then, come on, we just had a lot of rioting and looting, and nobody was banned from Twitter, or nobody was, nothing. Nobody said a peep. But now this happens, all hell's break loose. I mean, it's a clown world.
Amazing to me how people are looking with, fogged up lenses, or I don't know how they're looking or listening, because it's so blatantly obvious. I mean, the rioting happened for weeks and weeks. Dozens of people were killed. I think I remember a 3-year-old boy was shot in his driveway. Like just horrible things like that. And billions of dollars of damages were done. Businesses were destroyed, and it went on and on and on. And no one, aside from I think the Trump administration, was condemning these acts. And then you're absolutely right. This happens, and it makes all this news. It's unbelievable how biased it is. It's not about whether you're on the right or on the left. It's just about if you can just be fair.
I mean, these are things. I mean, you don't have to have a political alignment to certain parties or anything. I mean, when you see hypocrisy, you just call it out. You just see, you just see that. But then this was happening a few months back. How come now this is bad? But before it was not bad. It was all good. I mean, that is where, I mean, people stop taking it. And I really think that people are starting to wake up from this, because I see many people looking at it and they're like going like, what, that was pretty evident, right? That hypocrisy is pretty evident. How come people can't see it? I mean, it's amazing. And really, I mean, it actually cracks me up sometimes. And it's just...
No, it's comical.
Yeah.
What is it like? I'm interested to know. Is it very similar to what's going on in Australia, worldwide, in India as well? I mean, you know, I talk a lot to people about men, me being a father, you know, a husband, a son. You know, for me, I was brought up. I had some amazing role models in terms of my grandfather, my father, and these were real men. You know, as in they were men, like men that you
Yeah.
men that never say the word "I'm tired," men that never, you know, complain, men that know what their duty is in the household. Um, do you think? And we know it's going the opposite way. It's been going the opposite way for a long, long time. It's been scary.
Yeah.
People like Jordan Peterson, who I love, have been speaking out against it for a long, long
Yeah.
time. Is there similar concerns in India with that?
Absolutely. I mean, over here, so there are many sects of people. I mean, India is very diverse. There are
Yeah.
many kinds of people over here, right? So the thing is that I see a lot of different kind of mentality. Some are like, they basically just following the trend, whatever is happening outside. If the and particularly whatever the left is doing outside, you know,
Yeah.
the left is so the way the world goes, the way the
Unfortunately,
sorry.
they basically direct the media, and you know,
That's true.
it's
That's
all
true.
good.
I mean, I would say that probably it is because of some of us, or you know, some of the men actually, you know, they didn't want to do anything about it. Probably because of that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but then it's here right now. Anyway, and we have to face it. And yes, you know, what I see is that everywhere it's just about, now it's all about, it's a trend, and if you don't say this, you are uncool, by you know, smash the patriarchy, and you know, I don't know what, maybe they're gonna be witch hunting us very soon, or
Yeah.
Wicca hunting probably. Um,
I
so I
know
mean, yeah, it's
it's getting beyond ridiculous. I've even said to my wife, is it going to get to a stage where it's offensive for us to say that we are a father and mother with a child?
exactly.
Like
I mean, come on.
it's
And
gone.
the worst part is that there are many men who agree to it. I had a guy, I mean, I know a man. He's pretty famous. He's a very good, you know, artist.
Hmm.
He said that the word masculinity itself is poison to this world. I'm like, I'm like, what do I say to this? Do I say, but then you're a man, or maybe you're not, or maybe you should question, are you a man? I
Yeah,
mean,
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, like, come on, man. I mean, it's like sometimes we just want to say, and sometimes even, and honestly, I know a few women who are actually women. I mean, you know, good, strong women. I mean, they would say to some men, man up. I mean, and probably we need those kind of women as well. And as I was telling you,
I
right?
think a lot of women are saying that right now.
Thank God, thank
Yeah,
God they are.
I think
I
that a
mean,
lot,
really,
and I guarantee you one
yes,
thing is there's not as much as a woman wants to deny this. I would guarantee that deep down, if a woman's with a man who lacks masculinity, he's not really happy with him. I guarantee you
nope,
that.
yep, that's true.
Unless she's not, I won't say it. She's
Yeah,
the other
I
way.
mean, the thing is that they know that. I don't know if you have heard about this guy called Gavin McInnes.
Sounds familiar.
He used to be very popular, and you know, before my reversion, I think I used to listen to him, and the thing is that I was like, wow, this guy makes a lot of sense, right? And then this after that, I heard this guy Michael Waters. Again, that was the thing, you know, that drive for truth, and we men are actually made to know the truth and act our will according to that. We are
Mm.
actually designed by God like that.
Yeah.
So when we see that, and then we go like, wow, that is amazing, you know, that that resounds in you. And then actually we need that. We need a lot of masculine men. The world is saying that we don't need masculinity anymore. We need to shun it. We need to condemn it and things like that. I actually, we need to go right the other way. We need more masculine men. And people like Candace Owens, or I've heard this, I saw this podcast or video in PragerU. They had a very amazing video on why we need to make men masculine again. So we desperately need good fathers, brothers, sons, even starting from the hierarchy. Yes, we need good priests, we need holy priests, and we need to have that sacrificial love like that Christ showed us, right?
Yeah.
Man of mans. He's a man of mans. He loved so much that he was ready to give up his life for all of us.
100%.
So
I mean,
we need to learn from
the people they've just complicated things. I mean, it's in our nature to be masculine. It's women's nature to be feminine. What do we do? Like, do I go to a zoo tomorrow and I look at a lion and say, hey, he offends me, his mane is too big, can someone shave his mane to be masculine? Like, where's the line?
Everything is offensive.
Yeah.
You can't say anything. Everything is offensive. That's what is happening. And the thing is that even many leftists can't cope up with the speed that everything is changing every day.
Yeah.
The bar is set over here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and it's this constant change. And I guess that is the language of the devil, right? He talks in confusion. He can't make anything up. He has to just deceive. He's a deceiver, right?
Yeah.
And it's that when I look at it, Ephesians 3:15, it says that all paternity comes from God the Father, right? And when we see that so much of hatred against paternity itself, it's actually that it's the rebellion of that fallen angel against the one who created him. Yeah. It's actually that. I mean, when we go deeper into it, it's like evidently there. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I think we could talk about this subject for a long time. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I do believe we are in a stage of, I think, history where it's all coming to a head. Because people are more and more waking up to the fact that, hey, this is actually getting out of hand now. We understand that we had to be politically correct to a certain degree, but it's become politically correct on steroids. It's just exploded. And there's a lot of people, and they used to be called the silent majority, but most aren't silent anymore. They've had enough. And I think it's got to a stage where, something's going to give. I've heard preachers, I've heard, priests talk about it, but a lot of people, especially from the Christian world, are saying we're at a Red Sea moment, with Moses' words.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
It's at the, so I'm quite positive about, obviously really condemn what's going on, what's been happening, especially with, the leftist movement. But I do believe that we're at a point where it's going to come to a head, and because a lot of people have had enough, and they realize what's going on now. Whereas it was done in a subtle way for many years. Until
now it's gone to a point that we can't actually hold it. Right? We kept our eyes closed for a long time, and then it just went on. We were just going with the flow, and it just went on, happened, and now we are here at the point that where are we? I mean, it's a bizarre world outside. It's so bizarre, you can't believe it. I mean, and you won't. And the thing is that you won't wake up out of it until unless, again, the grace has to be. I mean, until unless that grace is there, you won't wake up. I mean, it's just not possible. And we need. That's why coming back to the same thing. I mean, I guess we need whistleblowers and men, and we need men to act like men and women to act like women. Because God made both of them, and they have their own way of working things, and we need more of that. Now what is happening is, I had a debate with a woman, a girl, I mean, I guess, she was like, we can identify as whatever we want. I mean, it's just the same question that then what is to be a man or what is to be a woman? You can't ask those questions nowadays. I mean, it's just, how bizarre is it? What is a man? What is a woman? You ask them, they don't. I mean, they'll just shout some curse words and things like that, and that's it.
No, it's pretty crazy. So speaking of last year, what happened last year? What did you get most out of 2020? Like, what did you feel like you gained out of it?
What did I gain? I guess I somebody shook me for sure. Somebody shook me and like you need to be more, you know. Yeah, I was already studying the faith and things like that, but then I knew that is not enough. We need to actually preach. I mean, and Christ was so serious about this that you need to be talking, because it's very uncharitable if you got something which you did not deserve, but then you didn't share it to your, especially those people who hate you the most.
Yeah.
And then there over there, we see that how Christ touches each and every soul. Um, we just supposed to we just supposed to be faithful to God. That's all. I mean, we need to be faithful.
Mm.
That's all we need to do, through thick and thin and everything. And it's like that same thing, right? That like a marriage. It's like a marriage, and you would know better. I mean, you're a married man. There will be a lot of troubles and trials and sorrows and everything. But then what we actually need to do is just stay faithful till the end, and it'll pass off. It'll pass away. This world is, anyways, it's just going to pass off. And this is something that Christ has promised us. What he has promised us is, because he doesn't change, he never changes. He's God himself. He's infinite goodness itself. He never changes. And what he has promised is, we can completely hope on that. Our hope is not just kind of wishful thinking or anything. It's built on a rock, right? It's built on a rock. Yeah. So I mean, he has promised us, yes, you will be persecuted, but then if you persevere till the end, you will be saved, and that's what we hope on. So yeah, I mean, 2020 was a, a big roller coaster. I mean, what do I say? Many things happened. Many people left my life, if I may say.
Yeah.
And many new people came, and and it was good. I mean, I would say that everything is good. Everything, whatever, if we trust in God, whatever we get from Him, we just say that everything is good from Him, because He's goodness itself. So
Yeah.
we just need to be faithful to Him. That's all. And yeah.
And are you hopeful for 2021 in terms of?
Oh, it's gonna be very tough indeed, for sure. But then that's the thing, right? I mean, that's where we are purged, and something more is demanded from us, and we are made to act like God, and that's what we are doing, right? We need to imitate Christ, and we can imitate Christ in our own cocoon, probably. I don't know how much that's possible, but then when we face that world, and when we act the way God wants us to, that's where He helps us to imitate Christ.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, in this godless world, we need to be that light. So yeah, let's see.
Very well said. So where does Charlie go from here? What do you think is your main purpose or objective?
Oh wow, that's a very tough question.
You said wow again.
Yeah, because I've been struggling with it for a long time. Honestly, I've been really struggling with that. Where do I see myself? Honestly, I don't know. It's just that, blinded. I'm blinded right now, because but then I just hope that the one who's, I mean, I know that the one who's holding my hand it's God himself, and he will lead me wherever he wants me to, and he'll place me wherever he wants me to. But yeah, it's, I mean, I still need to discern what I'm supposed to do. Is it, celibacy or married life, or whatever? What do I do? Because honestly saying, the place where I work in and things like that, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to stay faithful, and because it happens like that. I can't say no. I can't say, I can't turn a blind eye to these things that are happening in front of me. It might cause me something, my job, my career, my whatever fame, whatever we have, it might cause it. But then for Christ, if we gain Christ, it's all worth it. I mean,
Of course.
like in Philippians 3:8, it says that, I mean, I consider everything other than the knowledge of Christ as dung, like as shit. So I consider all of that as shit. So I mean, all is good.
Very
Yeah.
good. Well, we'll wrap up in a minute because we're almost out of time. But look, it's been real pleasure to get to know you and speak with you. I just got a couple more questions to go. But I'll just be interested to know, was there, you said you like, art and
Yeah.
even reading to a point. So did you have any books or people of history that was a big, aside from Jesus Christ, that was a big influence on you
Um.
or inspiration?
Yes. I mean, some of them are, I mean, still living, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I told you, I mean, Michael Waters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of him. I mean, honestly, the way he delivers things and the way he's persevering with the truth.
The truth. Yeah.
That's amazing. And there are actually, when I reverted back to the faith, and when I was looking back, I saw many people like me. Honestly, I met a few people like me. I don't know if you've heard about this guy called Roosh V. His name is Roosh V. He used to be a pickup artist, and
Okay.
a very, that kind of a life.
Mm.
But then he reverted back into the faith, and crisis. The thing is that what I saw that is that I mean, the Holy Spirit is still working, and he's still
Oh,
God is still working within us
100%.
in mysterious ways. Honestly, the place where I was in, I sometimes I can't just believe how did I reach, how did I come back out of that. It's literally, it's not possible. I don't
Mm.
think it's because it's very impossible for us, but for God nothing is impossible. Yes, of course. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So Michael Wallace, definitely Michael, and Dr. Brand Petrie. I started reading his books and things like that. Whew, mind blowing.
Yeah.
Many saints actually. Saint Alphonsus Ligari, and I have a very, I have a new hero in my life. I mean, I didn't know about much about him, but I just got to know about him recently. About Saint Thomas Becket.
Okay.
He's a. I mean, when I look at him, I'm
Amazing.
like,
Yeah.
resounds in me. I mean, yeah, you can see that he was chosen by a by a king to be a bishop, and then
Mm.
he said that, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Okay, I'm gonna act like a bishop now. So he did that, right?
Mm.
So I mean, that's what I think. If I'm supposed to be in this field, I need to be true to it, and
Yeah.
truth. And if you have to be true to it, we need to have that objective truth, which
Mm.
is Christ Himself. So basically, that's where I draw the line. I mean, this is the line that I need to reach. Christ is the line across. We need to reach that. So yeah, apart from Christ, these are the heroes that I have in my life.
No, that's brilliant. Um, any advice that you could give to aspiring, young kids who want to get into the arts and theatre? I mean, I think anyone who would listen to this who's a aspiring kid can take a lot from what you talked about in terms of what to watch out for.
Mm.
But is there anything in particular you'd like to say to youth who want to get into that industry?
Um, I would say never compromise your faith. Study your faith. First of all, yes, study your faith. Give time to it. We give time to everything else. I mean, honestly, I know that I myself have done this, right? I mean, if we get onto social media, we just hooked onto it as if, we sucked into it.
Yeah.
So much time we just waste. Probably we could just give that a bit of time to, knowing God, to love God, to serve God,
Mm.
and then it's not a myth. God is not a myth. He's real. He's more real than us, actually. For us, everything is either, our past is dead, or our future is not born yet. So we're just living in that small moment of time. But then for God, everything is at that point of time. So basically, He is more real than us,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So yeah, know God, and then do whatever, get into arts or theater or anything, whatever because it's very hard. I mean, I don't see that not just any arts. I mean, even if you want to go buy some grocery, it's very hard to, it's all out there. The culture vulture is ready to get you and you know take your soul down to hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a society we are living in, and that's what God wants us to be. That's where God wants us to be in this era. Okay, so He's definitely called us to fight this. So yeah.
Absolutely. We're blessed to be here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And also, I'd assume that you would agree that it's very important to make sure the circle that is around you is the right people.
Absolutely, yes. Even though the circle might need a few dots to connect, but then you might be just two people. That's okay. It works. It's okay to have less people, but then the thing that should be connecting all of us should be Christ. That's all that I can say. Actually, I mean, we need or at least find people or get. Yeah, I mean, you can get to those kind of people, I'm sure, everywhere. It's because God is working everywhere in different places. Because I never knew Dominic before, but then Dominic, somehow I saw him on Facebook, and then I was like, wow, this guy, what a guy, right? And then I heard his story. It was pretty amazing. And then I guess the circle might be small, but that's okay. At least you can have that small circle in heaven. I mean, rather than you put yourself everywhere, you try to fit into every shoe, and you try to be friends with them, and you try to please everyone, and then you did not please God with whom you have to spend your eternity. What's the point? What's the point?
Very well said. Well, look, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Like I said, any last thoughts you'd like to share before we let you go?
I mean, I want to wish, first of all, all the best for you with these podcasts and these interviews. I mean, really, because you never know whom are you going to touch, right? You never know who gets to hear you, because I myself was on that seat one point of time. I was just on that receiving end, right? And then it happened to me by God's grace again, and then it just sucked me out of wherever I was. So I really want to thank you first of all for doing this. And I mean, I just want to say that especially for us men, all of us men, be very aware, be a man, be a man, and your standard is Christ, the man of man's, your standard is Christ. So let's reach that standard, probably, by God's grace.
Oh, brother, we'll let you go. Thanks again for being here, and wish you nothing but the best for the year ahead.
Yeah, you too.
See you, brother.